Hello, I'm Sophie Welcome back to my channel. Back with another drawing video where, I thought I would self-insert myself literally into my projects. I have a lot of projects. If you've seen all my projects video, you would know that because it's like 40 minutes long. But so far, these are my 4 main ones with air quotes. Project what? Project Quest, Project Glass, and Project Star. Adventure, dystopian, fantasy, contemporary, apocalyptic thing, and sci-fi, respectively. And I'm writing these characters, I'm fleshing out the world, I'm like building all this stuff up, and I think, what if I, the dumb little writer, was a part of these stories, not just the puppet master behind the keyboard? So I shoved myself into these worlds. So, Project What is my dystopian adventure turned sci-fi sort of thing. The vibe of the story is 100% dark academia. Even if when I conceptualized this draft, I had no idea what dark academia even was. But I learned about it and I was like, oh my god, that's literally this project. So, earth tones, sneaking out of a boarding school. So, my fit for this story, which is, basically what this entire video is everything I've ever wanted. The dark academia vibe, which is based entirely off of this outfit that I actually own. I also assumed that I'd be at the super prestigious Wharton Academy that my main characters go to. I don't know what gave me that idea. I definitely would not get in. But I probably wouldn't be sneaking out and the such, but definitely ruining my sleep schedule as much as my main characters do in the story. But this story is placed in a future version of Earth, so it's not too different from what I would actually be wearing or doing now. Now, my fantasy. Project Quest. This one is supposed to be placed in a world entirely different from our own, but the world building is trash right now because I haven't worked on that project. So I don't have many notes on this world yet. I do want to say, though, that the vibe is definitely the opposite of a dark fantasy. End of the world, chosen ones, gotta save the world from an evil kingdom. Mine's the opposite of that, basically. So crystal waters, cozy marketplaces, and a king willing to kill my main character for a rumored gate that leads to a lost city. Spoiler alert. I decided here that I would join the pirating force, which has a face of being shipping boats for large companies, which, of course is not the case, but, no one needs to know that. Side note, yeah, the sleeves are entirely unnecessary, but, one, they can hold piratey things, maybe, and if they do get in the way, just wrap them around your forearm. Also, I've got a knife for cutting, bandages on my knee from falling off the ship, probably, and some pretty fire piratey boots. Next, though, is my sort of apocalyptic contemporary mess, Project Glass. It's set in a small town ravaged by a physically altering disease, and yes, I did come up with this idea during lockdown, and no, they are not related. I tried to make myself as grungy as possible, because that's really what the whole vibe of the story is. Just a grungy, small town, evergreen trees, old trucks, just trying to get by and not lose your mind to this disease. Also, my hair is white. Everyone in this town has white hair because that means they're susceptible to the disease. So first, your hair has to turn white before the disease can actually affect you. In other words, the white hair shows that your immune system has been weakened. Also, I seem to have taken a liking to green and orange in this drawing. I don't know. So, if you've watched my painting my main characters for Project Glass, you will know that this project has 2 main characters. Sisters, Tara and Astrid. And if I was to choose which I would hang out with at school, I think it would be Tara. because she draws, she's in a band, she reads comics, and those are all closer to my own interests than Astrid's, who plays like 3 sports, I think. I should know this, they're my characters. And she's also like far too popular to hang out with me, but I digress. And now, my sci-fi, Project Star. The only way I can really describe this project is that it's more Star Trek than like space western, though I so badly want to write a space western. So like white walls, space dances and celebrations and balls with hundreds of alien species, political tension, alliances, and like all that jazz. And I actually have backstory for this outfit as well. For this, I had to figure out what class on a ship I would belong to so I could determine exactly what color jumpsuit I would wear, because the color dictates your function, I guess. So I had to determine exactly what colors went to each class. World building. You know, so I came up with these colors for the main 5 classes on a traveling ship. Eventually, I decided I would just be a general crew member. Not too good with tech, so I couldn't be an engineer. Could never be a doctor, so no healthcare workers. Don't know the first thing about money or marketing, so economist was out. And I can barely form good sentences on paper, so communication was out too. Just general, low-key vomit green for me. And those boots are gravity boots. And the dials on the side can be adjusted to accommodate for the change of gravity on different planets so you don't fly away. Also, I don't have glasses in this one because in this story, basically every disability or hindrance is able to be dealt with if you want it to be dealt with. Take, for instance, my female main character, who has one robotic eye since she was born blind in it. But that is all. Here's the final product, all 4 of them together. I quite like this. I'm not used to drawing bodies, so this is definitely helping me out. And I think it went pretty well. It is all, you know, me, so that's a little narcissistic, but I had a lot of fun, so I can't complain. And given the circumstances of each fictional world I have set up here, I'd probably choose to live in my fantasy, because Project What, they live in a post-nuclear world. In Project Glass, there's, you know, the virus. And in Project Star, the ship is orbiting a star that is quickly dying, and it has basically nowhere to go because they're surrounded by empires that don't want them near them. So, and unless I take the role of my main character in my fantasy, I should be safe for most of the story. But, yeah, that really is it. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me ramble about my projects while watching me put myself into the stories. Self-insert doesn't get any more obvious than this. Anyways, peace.